Like your nephew?
I've known him since he was a baby.
I was hoping for that reason, not because you needed legal counsel that frequently.
And she was born.
I've known him since he was a baby.
And now you're seeing pictures of my baby.
I've seen them.
A whole lot of pictures, I'm sure.
This is the, these were the other partners. Yeah. She's
He's in
always
the
been
room.
that way. I've known her.
He's a good boy. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Did you finish moving?
We moved, but everything is, we're living out of boxes currently.
That's okay. It takes 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, oh yeah.
She has a couple of friends that are similar.
Wow.
It's funny. Thanks. It is what it is.
Or they're like,
No, she went for one of the Naples and type of ones.
I should update her.
Well, I don't know. I have she used to go there. How are you?
Hi, Sean, how are you? I'm good, thank you.
Are you?
Very soon. Especially
It's
this
just,
heat.
it's just always hard to figure out.
Oh. You get no
And to be the kind of virile kind of man that I am.
Oh, man. I think we're gonna cut this one short.
Laying it on thick down there, Bob.
Well, if I take care of myself, compliments are gonna give them.
Or better yet, who's going to?
Who's going to give them? That's another one.
We have no solicitor. Where is our solicitor?
I saw him multiple times yesterday.
And he had enough of you? He's not coming back?
No, he knows we have a hearing.
Okay.
I can't give you legal advice, but I can probably do the rest of it. I was gonna say, as long as we stenographer, we're good.
Yeah. Well, we've done that before. Done that before.
Michelle?
Yes.
Dan Becker just called to say he's stuck in traffic over in State Gulf, he'll be here shortly.
Oh,
Okay.
they're doing road construction
Oh,
over
I
there.
know.
Yeah.
It's like
I
when
know,
you were
I saw
talking
it's right in
about
front of your
it.
business.
Yeah, yeah.
He should have tried to bypass that by going through the neighborhood rather than.
That's what I,
But, oh,
it's
I know.
rare, that I won't go home that way right now because I'll hit it and even going like down the side streets, it's still.
Where is it?
Yeah. no, I-
Basically from, now they're a little past Dunkin' Donuts, but it was from Dunkin' Donuts all the way down to almost what was Gianotti's, now it's everything.
Berkshire.
As of this morning, they were closer to the traffic light outside of Berkshire Square, like right by the bank and Rite Aid.
Oh, are they resurfacing? Is that-
There was a water main, well, there was a water main break there 2 years ago, that they did some work, and then I forget which utility company came in to do work last summer that they kind of like saw cut everything and did temporary patching, so this is mill and replacement.
Yeah, because the temporary patching is awful.
Yes, well, the portions I drove over this morning that were permanent restoration were smooth. So, looks like there's not another main break there anytime soon.
I remember that name break. And my brother lived in Spring Bridge at that time, and I went to go over there. Coming back, you'd forget, if you drive looking at night, you'd forget that there was a big hole there.
That was from the sinkhole.
Oh, that was.
Yeah. The main break was not caused by the sinkhole, but there are separate issues and separate problems. There's a lot that's gone on that little stretch of State Hill Road.
So Michelle, what's coming and the shopping center where TG Maxx is? There's a lot of construction there too.
Boot Barn and Burlington.
So Burlington is moving from 5th Street to.
No, they're keeping that location,
They're keeping that.
which kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I'll say. Wow.
And the only reason I know that is because that's what the Reading Eagle reported. I've been asking that question reporting people in the Reading Eagle, they're keeping the district highway location, right?
So the strip shopping centers are doing better than the mall.
Different ownership.
Are they?
Is it really?
Yeah. Allied Properties kept Berkshire Mall West, they sold the mall. So that was another actually inconsistency in that Reading Eagle article. They seem to be operating under the impression that they were owned by the same, and they haven't been since Namdar bought the mall. But Berkshire Mall West stayed under Allied Properties.
I still, I bought the Berkshire Mall as a company, but always stress balls and doesn't help me.
It doesn't help. Good. That's what we need. Oh my God. At least, the guy that built it, well, his name's on the stadium.
Couldn't
Goodman,
it? What's it?
and Lehigh,
Oh, is it?
yeah. Lehigh football stadium is the Goodman Stadium.
How you doing? Yeah. Well, yeah.
How are your kids doing?
No, great. Actually, Lila is joining, she's coming back to Wyomissing next month. And she's joining the videos practice.
Who's pregnant?
My husband's practice.
Oh, no.
She's gonna work with that.
Wow, that's terrific. Is that like okay, that's a career thing now?
Yes,
That's great.
hopefully she'll take over when he, he has another partner.
Yeah.
We need her to take over. I need her to take over.
We delivered his baby.
Oh,
Well, hopefully he'll be still around for the next one.
We'll see.
He says he's not gonna retire anytime soon.
Okay, well, that's good.
He thinks he's still 35, you know. He doesn't believe his age.
don't we all?
And son is now doing the fellowship with Gombar.
Where?
That's her.
I'm still at Berkshire.
Yeah. So he finished internal medicine a year ago, worked there for a year as an internist. And now he's starting to go.
Sounds
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Next time we go through our,
I was wondering how you do it. Did you come all the way down, come out down by?
yeah, I took Lowendale and then Woodlands.
Yeah, one day on with
Yeah.
I thought about it to go to the rest of
I've made that mistake a few times.
It seems like it's taking long for them to finish.
it. I guess that's just because we're subject to it, but it's just, it seems like it's taking time.
It's not all the other problems that we're all waiting for.
So Chris, you're Mr. Gombar today?
I'm Mr. Gombar today, yes. Mr. Gombar is in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Lucky.
And we should infer what from that?
Don't infer anything.
Nobody has stays in Vegas.
I feel like no matter what attorney is listed on the application, they're never the one that actually
It's
shows
kind
up
of
for the
funny, it's
hearing.
happened a lot lately.
Yes, I give up.
We all set? Everybody ready? Yes, please, come to Dave. Okay, we're gonna call a meeting of the Wyomissing zoning hearing board to order. We're here today to not hear from Mr. Michael Gombar on behalf of his client, Joy Felice Davies. Doing business as the Golden Cone by Joy, equitable tenant of property owned by Giang Vu, located at 944 Penn Avenue, who submitted an application requesting a variance from section 472, uses permitted by right, and section 609.20.b off-street parking requirements. Property is located in TC Town Center Residential Office District. The only use permitted by right in the TC zoning district is a single-family detached dwelling. Business and professional offices are permitted by special exception. Property is currently vacant. The zoning hearing board granted 2 variances in December of 2015 to permit hair additions by lead to operate at the park. Hair additions by lead with a retail service establishment that is not permitted by right. Special exception of the TC zoning district. The board also granted a variance from off-street parking requirements for retail service establishments to allow hair additions by lead to operate with only 2 of the 6 required off-street parking spaces. The board again granted the same 2 variances in October 2019 to allow the lease of the first floor commercial space to be used to hold spa parties for children. The applicant has submitted a request for a variance from section 472, uses permitted by right, to allow the operation of a hair and beauty salon from the first floor tenant space. The applicant has also submitted a request for variance from 609.20.d to allow the operation of the salon without providing additional off-street parking. Based off the square footage of the first floor commercial space and the second and third floor residential space, a total of 6 off-street parking spaces would be required by the zoning ordinance for both uses to operate at the property. The property currently has 2 off-street parking spaces located in the rear adjacent to the alley. The 2 existing spaces would meet the zoning requirements for the number of spaces to be provided by the residential use at the property. Before we start, introduce the people at this end of the table. I'm sure you know Michelle and Naja Batiste is a member of the zoning hearing board. Bob Ullman is a member of the zoning hearing board. Our counselor is Dan Becker, and I'm David Rothwell. I'm the chairman of the zoning hearing board. Mr. Becker is going to tell us how we're going to proceed today.
Yes, we're going to proceed in this manner. Today, you're here with your application, so it's your burden of proof. You have counsel that's here to help you today. You'll be doing that by providing testimony to the board, and potentially, I see there's some exhibits sitting in front of your attorney that they'll be presenting to the zoning hearing board members. At the conclusion of your testimony, the board members and any member of the public, which I see none here today at the moment, other than Mr. Jadick, who may have some questions for you, but all will have opportunity to ask you questions regarding your application. After all of the testimony and exhibits have been presented, the board will go into an executive session and deliberate. Typically, this board will render an oral decision today, the same day as the hearing. If they are unable to do so, they'll have 45 days in order to do that. And typically, if they render the oral decision, the written decision will be issued within 45 days. Do you understand how we're going to proceed today?
Yes, sir.
Counsel?
Yes.
So at this point in time, Mr. Chairman, turn it back over to you.
Okay, counsel, that is going to be your show. We can start by swearing your witnesses, and we'll swear Michelle there at the same time.
If you raise your right hand, I swear you do swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you.
Please proceed.
Thank you. Please state your name for the record.
Joy Davies. Can you just turn it this way a little bit so I can hear you?
Joy
Thank you.
Davies,
And Ms. Davies, where are you currently employed?
2100 State Hill Road,
What is the name of the business?
the woman come by Joy.
And what is your position in the business?
I'm the woman.
And you already stated where the business is located. How long have you been at that location?
5.5 years.
And have you decided to relocate the business?
Yes.
And where have you decided to relocate?
944 Penn Avenue.
And that is the address of the property that's subject to your application today.
Correct.
Are you the owner of that property?
No.
Who is the owner of the property?
Giang Vu.
I want to show you what's been marked as applicant's exhibit 1. Can you tell me what that is?
The deed to the property.
And referring to the deed, who does the deed list as the owner of the property?
Giang Vu.
Copies of the deed if anybody's interested. Do you have a lease agreement with Mr. Wu?
Yes.
I'm going to refer you to applicant's exhibit 2. Can you you tell me what that is?
This is our lease agreement.
Where are you? And when did you enter into this lease?
June 1st, 2021.
When you signed this lease agreement with Mr. Vu, were you aware that you would have to come in front of this board to seek relief?
No,
When did you figure out that you would have to come in front of this board to ask for relief?
when I called and asked for a sign permit and spoke with Michelle.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the business that you're proposing at 944 Penn Avenue. Can you give the board some specifics with respect to your business, what you do?
Yes, I am a small business owner, hair salon. It's me that works there along with four other stylists. I specialize in hair extensions and in hair care. We also do hair coloring and all hair services, no nails, no pedicures. Very small boutique-like salon. We see one person at a time, maybe a haircut in between. Very personable. I like to look at my business, and I've been in business for many years. It was a family-owned business, and we closed due to loss of some family members, and I decided to open it again when I got the opportunity 5.5 years ago at 2100 Staple Road.
And what are your current hours of operation?
The current hours are Wednesday through Saturday. Wednesday through Friday is 10 to 6, and Saturday 9 to 4.
How many employees do you have?
One employee.
Is that employee full-time or
She's
part-time?
part-time.
Okay. And what are her hours?
She works the same hours as the business hours, but it is by appointment only, so if she has no appointment, she does not come in.
Does she provide the same type of services that you do?
No, she does hair coloring service, hair cutting, everything but the hair extensions. That's just my specialty that I do.
How many customers typically would you anticipate at your business throughout the course of a typical day?
A day, I would say 10 to 12.
And that's an average day?
Yes.
What is the maximum amount of people that you would anticipate on the property at one time?
At one time, I would say 5, including my stylist and I.
And are all of your customers by appointment?
Yes, by appointment.
No walk-ins?
No walk-ins.
And how long does a typical appointment last?
Depending what service they're getting done, it can go anywhere between a half an hour to 5 to 6 hours.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the property itself. What's currently located at the property?
Which property?
The 944 Penn Avenue.
There's nothing there, it's empty now.
You're referring to the first floor space?
Yes, the first floor space is empty. The second floor is occupied with an apartment.
Is there a third floor?
I believe there's a third floor, but I don't know how they rent that part. I don't know if it's just the second, third floor, one apartment, or I only met one tenant there.
But your understanding is the other floors are generally residential space?
Correct.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as applicants. Exhibit 3. Can you tell me what that is?
This is the Orange Street parking at the property on the property side and opposite of the property side.
And you're referring to the first page of the exhibit?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to refer you to the second page of pictures. What is that?
The opposite side of the location as well as the rear of the location.
And I want to refer you to the third page. What does that show?
This would be the layout of my business. It would look,
And just so the board is aware, what is the bottom picture depict?
that
The bottom plan is the depict, excuse
the
me.
entrance of the building. very first room.
And the middle plan,
That would be the shampoo area,
and then the plan on the top.
the styling area,
And approximately how many square feet is that space?
875.
Can you describe for the board what is on adjacent properties? What other businesses are in the area?
I know there's attorney offices, there is a tailor, a bridal shop, there also are other hair salons, a flower shop. I can't think of anything else, there's one more, but I don't remember the nature of that business.
Okay, very good. I want to talk to you a little bit about the parking at the property. Is there parking available at the property itself?
There is parking available. However, it is for the tenants upstairs, the rear, that would be the parking spot in the rear of the building.
How many parking spaces are at the property itself?
1, 2,
Two?
yes,
Okay,
there's 2.
very good. And your understanding is that those spaces are for the tenants that are
Correct.
on the other floors?
Correct.
Okay. Is there parking available along the street in front of the property?
Yes,
Is the parking on both sides of the street?
yes,
Okay. Do you believe that street parking in front of the property will be sufficient to service your business?
yes, I do.
Do you anticipate any issues with parking?
No, I do not.
Based on your knowledge of your business, if the board were to grant you relief, do you believe that it would alter the essential character of the neighborhood or substantially impair the appropriate use or development of adjacent properties?
No, I do not.
Do you believe that granting relief would be detrimental to the public welfare?
No, I do not.
And do you believe that the relief you requested is the minimum variance to afford you relief? Is it the minimum amount of relief that you would get?
Yes.
I have nothing further.
I'm just wondering, was there a business in that location we should?
Yeah, so the zoning hearing board had granted the same exact approval for Sparty, which never actually opened because of the
Okay, because of the
pandemic. And
pandemic, yeah,
before
yeah.
that, Heritations by Lee was in there, which was, he was a wig maker by appointment.
Yeah, for cancer.
Yes.
Michelle, we've never had difficulty with granting the type of business in that area. That's correct. Essentially, we've got hair salons and everything in there already.
The south side of Penn Avenue, which is zone TC, is either 100% the businesses you see operating, or either grandfather non-conforming, like Anthony's Barber Shop, florist shop, some of the other businesses, or came for the board for zoning hearing for approval. The difference is on the north side, it's C1 zoning. So everything on the odd side of Penn Avenue conforms. Retail, personal service establishments are permitted by right.
On that side, on that thing, but parking is the
Yes.
major
Yes.
issue in that area. And, I think the last time we had a hearing on this property, we had at least 1 or 2 people in the neighborhood, including the neighbor salon, I guess, because, or no, it was somebody complaining about the neighborhood salon. That it was so confusing. I'm disappointed that they're not even giving you a space in the back there, that both of those are reserved for the tenants. And I guess we don't know the answer to whether there's 1 or 2
apartments, second and third floor.
Okay. So one,
One overall unit, which would require 2 off-street parking spaces under the zoning ordinance. So technically, the residential unit complies for parking and for use. It's the commercial business that's always operated from the first floor that's needed parking.
the problems. It's a problem. Counselor?
I think, sorry, what your attorney?
Chris Muffy.
Mr. Muffy, I think he did a very fine job, so.
He did an excellent job.
So I don't think I have any further questions.
No. Yeah, that's, you did, you presented it well, and, so we know what the problems are, we have to decide how to deal with them. So we are gonna move on to, some legal housekeeping.
Yes. So at this time, we're gonna, Michelle has been sworn, so we're gonna ask Michelle a number of questions. Michelle, in your capacity as the zoning officer for the borough of West Reading, borough of Wyomissing, what are your duties and responsibilities?
I prepared a wrong hat. I prepared a memo to the zoning hearing board dated July 23rd, 2021, summarizing the application and the relief requested.
And changing hats, what are your duties and responsibilities?
As the zoning hearing board secretary, I created a public notice that was posted on the subject property on July 15th of 2021 at approximately 3 p.m. That same notice was mailed to all adjacent property owners on July 14th of 2021 at approximately 8:30 a.m. And if you give me a second to look at my calendar, it was advertised in the Reading Eagle on July 20th and July 27th of 2021.
All right, we'll mark the first document which Michelle provided, which was the memorandum that she provided as the zoning officer, as board exhibit number 1. And we'll mark the documents that she's provided as the zoning hearing board secretary as board exhibit number 2. Michelle, do you have any other information relating to this application that's relevant to come before the board, in either capacity as a zoning officer or secretary of the zoning board?
I do not.
And which zoning ordinance is in place at the time of this application?
The one that was printed November of 2018.
Mark that as board exhibit number 3, we're not going to move for that commission until that consents. Mr. Muffin, do you have any questions about the board exhibits?
I do not.
Do you have any objection to the board exhibits?
I do not.
Would you like to move for your admission of your exhibits?
Yes.
Okay, so they'll be accepted. I believe that's all there is, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, all right, we will recess the meeting and see if we can't, come to a conclusion. So if you all will excuse us.
Wait, no, hold on, I don't think that shows.
Thank you. That's done. We're going to call a meeting of the Wyomissing Zoning Hearing Board back to order. Is there a motion?
Yes, I move that we grant the request of Joy Felice Davies, doing business as Golden Cone of Joy, for a variance from section 472 and section 6.9.20.d from the Borough Wyomissing zoning ordinance, subject to the conditions to be placed on the record by our solicitor.
Those conditions will be as follows. The hours of operation at the salon will be from 10 to 6, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 to 4 on Saturday. That you'll have only one employee, so it'll be yourself and one employee. There'll be no walk-in appointments permitted, and there'll be by appointment only. That there'll be a maximum of 5 people at the salon at one time. That you comply with all the testimony that's been given here today, that you will comply with all laws, rules, regulations, and ordinances, that you'll obtain and pay for all permits, that you'll implement the relief that's been requested, that you've been requested within 1 year of the date of the application, and that this decision will be binding upon all heirs, successors, or sons.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. You may move and go to work.
You can walk to work, right?
Technically, you can't until the executed written decision is issued and I can issue a certificate of occupancy, but, we can touch base about that process.
I know this is a bad one, but I know this is an extension for a few
Oh,
months. Oh, man. This is,
I guess you deserve that.
That,
Say so.
yeah, but.
There's something that's my-
Thank you, Counselor. Good job.
Good job, thank you.
Nice seeing
If
you.
anybody doesn't want their exhibits, I'll take them off your hands.
Safe street.
Just wanna hang on to-